Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a brand new release from I Heart Revolution, and it is the Angel Heart eyeshadow palette. So I think they've actually released a couple of items within this collection. I believe there is I think it's a highlight in the shape of a heart. They've also released some lip products as well. I think they're lip glosses. Out of the collection, I just like the look of this eyeshadow palette. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm obsessed by eyeshadow, so I thought I'd pick this one up. And yeah, I can't wait to show you around and then share with you the eye look that I'm going to also share on this video, as well as all of the swatches. Now, I believe, if I remember rightly, this was £6.99. and I picked mine up from revolutionbeauty.com. Obviously, if it is available at superdrug.com, I will link that down below as well. So the palette itself is very pearlescent. So it looks like that, very pink, very pretty, very, I don't know, it's very pink inspired, isn't it? It's beautiful. So it's got I Heart Revolution on the front with Angel Heart also on the front, and then a pink heart beneath it, and with a little halo on the L there. Then when you turn it around, as always, you've got the ingredients there, you've got the shades that you may receive in here. I don't think those are doing the shades inside justice at all. You're getting 12 pans within this palette at 0.03 ounces or 0.75 grams. The shelf life is 12 months and it is cruelty free and vegan as well. So there is all of your information. Now it's one of those, we've had these before on the, I think, is it Dragon's Heart? I can't remember the actual names. I think it's the Dragon palette and the Unicorn palette, very, very similar. So they actually fasten there with a magnet. And there's no mirror in here, but when you look at these shades, they are stunning. They don't have names on them either. I'm just going to show you the back again. They are all numbered. So there's no names to them at all, but this is very pink inspired, very bright, very vibrant. So if you like bright, vibrant eyeshadow, you're going to love this. Now, the only problem with this eyeshadow palette that I found, and obviously I will mention this more as we get on into the try-on, but there is a lot of deep shades in here, and there's not an inner corner highlight. I suppose I could have used this one, but I typically like the inner corner highlight now to be quite light, so then it opens up that area. So I did have to dip into another palette, but that's absolutely fine. I've got obviously lots of palettes to choose from, and I'm sure we've all got a cream or inner corner highlight. If you didn't want to use one of these shades, we've all got one of those to hand. But like I say, you could have gone for that, but I thought for me that would be just a little bit too deep. So now what I'm going to do is share with you the actual shades within the palette. I'm just making sure that I'm going to start off correctly. So we have here a shade, and that is your matte. I think you can just see it there. It's a matte, very light. It's like your cream tone, but it's not quite cream. It looks a little bit like it's got a little bit of pink in there. We then move on to another matte shade. This is much more apricot. We have another matte shade here, which is a warm brown. We have a shimmer shade, which is very pink inspired. We have this shade here. Now, is this shimmer? Let me just take a look. Yeah, that one's matte. So that one is matte, and then we have another matte. So this is actually more coral, and then the last one in the first row is again matte, but it's very, very bright. In fact, that one I'm going to use on my eye today. Then we move on to the second row. So we've got a shimmer apricot shade there. Now this is unusual. When you look at the pan, this one is a very cool toned mauve. I don't know if you can see it there, but it has lots of gold glitter in it. And I was really excited about using this shade, but actually when you swatch it, it doesn't translate, the glitter doesn't translate. And I do find this with actually a lot, and it's not just Revolution matte shades. You know that black shade that was around in a lot of palettes a few months ago, and that had shimmer to it. Like I say, it's not Revolution, it was across the board with a lot of companies that brought out this matte black with a lot of gold shimmer running through it, or silver shimmer, and it was still a matte black when you applied it to your eye. There was no shimmer to it at all. That is the same with this one. It is just a mauvey shade. That's how it translates anyway on the eye and on my arm. I did actually have to go over this with another shade, and it was this one here, which is an absolutely beautiful copper toned shimmer shade. Beautiful. Then we have a matte. I mean, look at that one. Absolutely, well, as vibrant as you can get. A little bit deeper than this one. Beautiful. Then we have much more of a warm toned, still quite bright, but it's more of a warm toned shade, and that is matte. And then another, I think it's matte. Sometimes it's difficult for me to tell when I just look. Yeah, this one is matte as well, and this is much more of a deeper magenta shade. So there are all of your shades. What I will say is that when and I always do this in every look, I always apply to one eye so that I know that, you know, what I'm going to do. And I must say these shades that I've used today are extremely dusty. They kick up a lot of product. But also what I will say is that they are extremely pigmented. I'm going to talk you through exactly what I did, and I will explain exactly what I mean. So the first shade that I went in with was this matte peach tone. So it's the second shade on the first row. The brush that I'm using is one of my fluffy brushes from the trio of brushes from Primark, and it's number 251, the Eye and Crease Contour Brush, and it looks like this. So I'm going in with a very, very fluffy brush to start with. And I went in a number of times. I was going to use this as my transitional shade because I really did like it. So I put quite a lot on, like that. I think even a little bit more. So it does build up to a really beautiful shade. And like I say, I thought I was going to use that as my transitional shade. But then I moved on to another brush, and this is my Primark Eye Contour Brush for £1. And I went in with this shade here, thinking that it would be just a really nice crease shade that I could brighten that up with. But it was so pigmented. So I'm just going to pop my brush in like that. What I typically do is just pick up the loose powder, which is what I've done. Yeah, I then had to go all over the peach shade because it is so pigmented. So let's do exactly what I did in with the first eye. So yeah, I was really surprised by this shade. It is extremely pigmented, and I think that whatever eye look you're going to use this with, this may then overtake that look, if you see what I mean. So for example, if you're going to use these bright fuchsias, then it will be a bright fuchsia eye look, because I suppose with the brighter eyeshadows, you know, they just take over, don't they? So I'm just putting a little bit more on. I must have swirled my brush in quite a lot, I think. So like that. So as you can see, that shade really takes over the whole eye. And what I wanted to do was then tone that down a little bit, because I know that a lot of you don't like pink on the eye, but obviously I want to share with you the fact that if you did want to apply pink, you know, fuchsia for example, you could then tone it down. And then what I did was I went in with the third shade on the first row, that one there, with another brush, exactly the same brush from Primark, but this time a clean one, because obviously I didn't want to mix all of the shades together. And then I just started on the lid and then used this colour all throughout my crease. And what it does is that it gives you still the colour, but it's peeking through rather than, you know, taking over the whole eye look. And this did actually take me quite a while to get the pink tone down a little bit. I mean, I love all these bright colours, I really do, but they have also got to be wearable on a day-to-day basis. Like so. I'm just going to get my fluffy brush again and just pop that through the edges just to blend them out a little bit more. Now I have found with that brown shade, I don't usually find this actually, but it has given me some fallout. I'm just going to see if I can use my, I'm using my foundation brush. That has worked just to get rid of that. Like I say, these are very dusty eyeshadows, but they do definitely pack a punch. So I'm still not happy with it here. I just want to blend that round a little bit more. That's better. Okay, now with the under eye, I just went in with that brown shade again, so the third one across on the first row. So I kept with that brown shade because what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to then put that pink underneath as well. So I'm just going to take that underneath. I didn't realise actually until I used it on its own that it is quite a pink or red tone brown, just how red it, you know, looks on its own. And again, what I'm going to do is go in with my fluffy brush and just blend that out a little bit. I'm just using my concealer brush. I think I've gone just a little bit too high compared to the other eye with that pink. So I just want to tone that down a little bit. I'm going back in with my fluffy brush. Just blend out the edges a little bit. That's it. I'm going to leave it like that now. Okay, so I've gone underneath the eye with that brown again, and that is absolutely fine. It just gives me the depth that I want without adding any more pink, because obviously we've got enough pink on the top. Okay, now what I want to do is this. What I did was, I've got to remember the shades that I went in with, because I first of all went in on the lid with this shade, and it's that mauvey shade. I was really excited about the fact that it had all that glitter in there, and I really wanted a little bit of sparkle. And it is jam-packed with that glitter, but you cannot see it at all on the eye. Once it's blended in, there's a little bit of glitter that's gone on the top, but it just disappears. In fact, actually, now I'm in the light, it doesn't look too bad. Probably should have kept that because I put my makeup on in a different area. The light is slightly different to in here, but actually that isn't too bad. I should have kept it, but I was panicking because I thought, you know, it's just another one of those matte shades that doesn't have the glitter, it doesn't translate. But that isn't too bad at all. You can certainly see that on my lid, so I'm quite impressed with that one. But of course I then went in with, because in the light in my bedroom where my dressing table and makeup is set up, I couldn't see that, so I then went in with this shade, which is right beside it, that beautiful copper shimmer. I just went over that because I do like a nice sheen on the lid, like that. And then I'm just going to go back in with that brown again, that red brown, and just deepen out the crease area like that. Now, the next thing that, or the next step that I wanted to do was the inner corner highlight. And of course, when you look at this palette, the only one that is the lightest is that copper. And it, although yes, it has got some lightness and it is beautiful, I just didn't think that it would work on the inner corner. So what I did was I then picked up my Revolution Pro Unleashed Regeneration palette, and I absolutely love the shade in here called Free, and it's that one there. You can see how much I use this palette. It looks quite battered, and I'm just going to use that as my inner corner highlight. Like I said at the beginning, this is one of those palettes where you'll need to use another palette for the inner corner if obviously that's what you want, because it just doesn't have one in here. But that's fine. Like I say, most of us have got more than one palette anyway, so it just works better to have a lighter shade for myself. But obviously if you've got a deeper skin tone, that will be perfect. Then I went in with a liner, and I'm using this one, which is I hope I'm getting the name right, it's the Revolution Pro Supreme, I think it's a gel liner. Now I will use it in this video because I wanted to actually let you know this was £4, and I picked this up when the Revolution Pro products launched. I really was looking for another, I haven't got it here, but my Revolution eyeliner, I don't think I'd started to use that properly, and I was looking for another you know, liner for the waterline. So anyway, I've used this once, and then I've used it for about 4 days now, and it's completely ran out. It's that clicker effect, and it's all used up. So I've used this 5 times, and that's all I've got out of it for £4. So I'm very, very disappointed with this product, and I just wanted to make you aware that, I mean, I don't know if I've got a broken one or what, but yeah, I was really disappointed about that. There's just a tiny bit of product, just enough for me to put on my eye for today, I hope. And that is basically it. So I've used this about 5 times and it's completely ran out. So yeah, very disappointed with that product, because like I say, it's £4, you know, you're paying £4 for a product that has worked for me 5 times. So I'm just going to pop on some mascara, which as always is the PS Amplif-eyed mascara from Primark. I can definitely see that glitter in here, so I will definitely have to use that that lilac shade on the lid again. That is really, really beautiful. The lipstick that I'm wearing today is from my Jouer the Nudes collection, and this one is Naked that I'm wearing today. So there it is. You can purchase it, I hope, as a separate full-size product, and of course I will link that down below for you. But that is my eye look for today. It's very bright, it's very vibrant, very fuchsia pink, Like I say, the pinks in this palette, they do tend to overtake the eye look because they are very bright, they're very vibrant. And also, like I mentioned, even though this is a dusty palette, it does kick up a little bit. I mean, I've only used that shade once today, you know, for each eye, and it has made quite a dent in it. So it is a dusty palette, but it is very, very pigmented, as you can see from the eye look. So I hope that that's helped if you're interested in this palette. And I think, you know, for the minimal amount of £6.99, I believe, I think it's really, really good quality, and I love the colours. It's not a palette for everyone, but you can certainly tone down those pinks to make it a little bit more wearable. So as always, I would love your thoughts. What are you thinking about the eye look, the palette? Have you purchased any more from the collection, and what are your thoughts? And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed to watch further videos. Excuse me. Oh, I'm losing my voice. But until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.